What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/entitled parents. This story is called How an Entitled Mother and Entitled Kid Tried to Steal, then Destroyed Almost $2,000 worth of cards. I judge collectible card game tournaments from local levels all the way up to world championships. On local levels, I go from store to store to judge and run events, and the stores would pay me. Really, thank Magic the Gathering judges. We really owe you one for this. And would let me have extra promos on top of the pay, so I'm usually swimming in promos. Now, while I am getting paid to judge, I am not an employee of the store. In fact, I do this because there's not enough judges in the area, and the stores can't run the tournaments without a certified judge. I am pretty generous with the promos, and I give it away liberally as my binder runner over, and I need binder real estate. On more than one occasion, I have snared new players doing this. A few months ago, I was running and judging a tournament at a local store. It was well attended for the store size, as a prize kit that was supposed to have been delivered 2 months before finally reared its head, and this store was the first to get it in the area. So for a lot of players, this was the first chance for them to get the prizes from this kit. The store also wanted to do the current month's kit at the same time, so the prize payout was going to be amazing for this. The store and I had a system. Players would pay, and right after they paid, I would register them. So I had my laptop behind the counter next to the register. Again, this is a very well-attended tournament for a local, and ultimately, we have over 40 people registered in a store whose capacity was 50 people. Here's the deal. At 40-ish people, this is considered to be a small to mid-sized tournament. Tournament entry is usually $20 per person. On top of that, these players buy a lot of product, as this is the only time they usually get to the store. Everything from sleeves, booster packs, deck boxes, drinks, snacks, other games, etc. On a tournament this size, the store can easily make 50% of their profit for the month. It took us about 45 minutes to get through every one. I got some good-natured ribbing for something that happened at a regional event. The players are awesome. They come from all walks of life, from high school kids to career veterans to business owners. They're a great community, lend each other cards, buy drinks and snacks for each other. They helped me out when I first got started in the game and helped me through some really hard times in my life. They're my nerds and I'm their geek, and I love them. So as I registered people, I was giving them their participation prize, and when I finally got the last person registered, I immediately paired the round and was about to welcome the players and do general announcements. Enter Entitled Kid. I've seen Entitled Kid before when I came here for other game nights when I'm not judging, and he was just obnoxious. He would lose and slam down his card, he would make rude comments, and overall, win or lose, going up against him was a negative play experience. And he has been warned to fix his behavior a few times, but it never improved, and I finally had to recommend to the owner to ban him from the store, just as I was getting ready to do my thing. How come I didn't get one? Oh, I'm sorry, what's your name? I'm Entitled Kid! I'm sorry, I don't see you registered for the tournaments. You're gonna have to pay first, then come back here. The kid huffed and went away. I figure if he doesn't come back in 5 minutes, no big loss, and I'll start the tournament. I took the time to pull the rest of the prizes out and get them sorted, so it'll be easier when I need to give them out. Just as I was about to start again, I see Entitled Kid come into the store with Entitled Mother and her full Karen Galia, and they were making their way towards me. She puts her coffee on the counter. Explain to me why you didn't give my son a card. I will give him a card, but he has to pay his entry for the tournament so I can register him. He said you give cards away to people before, so why can't you do that now? Huh? At this moment, I have a flashback of something a sister said when we went out to eat a few weeks back. Your generosity is gonna bite you on your ass one day. And in this deluded flashback, my sister's cackling maniacally like an evil witch putting a curse on me. Oh, that's my personal collection, and I hand out extras I have. Well, can Entitled Kid have one of those? I'm thinking, I gotta get this tournament started, as players were getting a bit antsy. I guess, but isn't Entitled Kid gonna be playing in the tournament? No! Why would he play in the tournament with these losers? Besides, I have plans and need to get going soon. Okay, well, let me get this tournament started and I'll go to my car and get my extras binder. This is ridiculous. Why can't you just give Entitled Kid one of those cards now? Those are for tournament participants, and since Entitled Kid has neither paid or or will be registering for the tournament, I can't give him one. It wouldn't be fair to everyone else in the tournament. I don't care about that. Entitled Kid wants one of those and you will give him one. Butthole, where is your manager? Oh my god. Realizing I'm having a hybrid r/entitled parent and r/I don't work here lady moment, and deciding I wanted neither. You know what? I have a tournament to start. I start walking towards the tournament area, and she reaches over the counter and grabs my shirt, jerking me back. I almost fell on my ass. When I recovered, I told an actual store employee to get the owner. Don't walk away from me! I notice a few players getting up to try and get my attention, and I give them a 1-second signal, and then I notice the players were actually pointing at something. I look in the general direction of where they're pointing, and I see Entitled Kid going through the top cut pricing and putting cards in his pocket. Entitled Kid, stop! Those aren't yours. You didn't earn those. Shut up! Aren't you in enough trouble? Don't talk to my kid that way. I want your manager, now! At this point, the prizes were in disarray, and Entitled Kid has pocketed a lot of them, and I'm still in Entitled Mother's grip. I twisted my body to free myself from Entitled Mother's grip, and then she slammed her hand on the counter and was about to go off again. When we noticed the force of the slam has tipped her coffee cup over and spilled coffee all over the prizes, and it also splashed onto the cards that a guy was selling. The owner walks in just as all this was happening, and he had a look of, "I've had enough of this crap." Players immediately rushed us and surrounded Entitled Mother and Entitled Kid and switched from going off on them and trying to explain to the owner what happened. The owner was ex-Navy and, in a voice that only a retired sailor can muster, told everyone to shut up. When everyone was quiet, Entitled Mother thought she won, grabbed Entitled Kid, and with a look of triumph on her face, said to Entitled Kid, "Did you get everything you wanted?" "Yeah." "Fine, we're leaving. Oh, you should fire this guy." "You're not going anywhere. Clerk, call the cops." "What? Well, good. I needed to tell how your employee assaulted me." "He's not my employee, and he didn't assault you." He points at the cameras he has all over the store, and Entitled Mother, oblivious to what he's implying, just went on. "Yes, he did. He also denied Entitled Kid what he was owed and tried to steal cards from him. I demand you fire him or we'll never come here again." Owner completely fed up in his salty sea dog voice. "Good! Please never come here again! Make my year! I would love to never have to see you or your spoiled brat cheating sore loser of a son here ever again! This guy is not my employee, but he's more valuable to me than the measly $5 Entitled Kid pays for a single booster pack every week!" He kept going, and throughout all this, I'm trying to clean the promos, but as I got through, it was just more and more evident there's nothing we could do to salvage any of it. My heart broke, not for the monetary value of over $1,000, but because the players that were looking forward to this for months on this chance to get these prizes, and now these things are worthless and wouldn't even be usable in casual play. The owner finished his rant just as the cops arrived, and Entitled Mother rushed them and tried the same thing about me assaulting her and trying to steal cards from her kid. The owner looked at the cops, who he apparently knew from somewhere. "Cop 1, that's not true. Come on back and I'll show you the video." Cop 1 went back with the owner, and Cop 2 was talking to the mom. A player noticed that there was blood on my shirt. "Dude, you okay?" "Yeah, I mean, not really. Look at all this. I can't give this to you now." "No, dude, you're bleeding." "What?" I look where Entitled Mother grabbed me, and there are bloody lines on my chest. I guess when she grabbed me, her nails broke skin. One of the players was an EMT and grabbed the first aid kit and started tending to my wound. He said it didn't look too bad, but Cop 2 asked the EMT what happened. EMT told him everything that happened. Cop 2 put Entitled Mother in cuffs. She was cursing up a storm and tried to run away, but the sea of nerds that are my amazing players blocked her. A few minutes later, Cop 1 came back out and wanted to talk to me and the dude that was selling the cards. They asked us if we also wanted to press charges as the owner is pressing charges. The other guy said yes, as apparently her coffee destroyed about $800 worth of cards that he was selling. I'm thinking about the disappointment my players must be feeling, and I got really angry and decided, yes, I wanted to press charges on her. In the end, she was arrested and charged with theft, what Entitled Kid pocketed, destruction of property, the prizes, and the cards the guy was selling, as well as assault and battery, grabbing my shirt and scratching so hard she drew blood. What stuck with me about that part was, she was about to leave Entitled Kid. Entitled Kid's dad was called and picked him up. I went through the prizes Entitled Kid pocketed and tried to salvage them, but I don't know what he had in his pocket, but these cards were dirty and scratched up. Big shame too, as they were some of the best art I've seen. In the end, the owner told the players he would contact the publisher and see if we can get another kit, and he would refund them their entry as he didn't feel comfortable making people play for damaged prizes. The players can take what they want. Everyone divided up the prizes as evenly as possible, but a lot of them were just too damaged and warped by the coffee. The players still wanted to play, and the owner told them they can play for store credits, and I finally started the tournament 2 hours late. The first time ever in my judging career. I pride myself on making sure the tournament started either on time or early. I'm ex-Navy too, and know that when you're on time, you're late. Entitled Kid was banned from the store, and Entitled Mother was convicted of all counts, and was sentenced to probation, community service, and had to pay a pretty hefty fine. There is a really happy ending to this story though. The owner contacted the publisher and explained what happened, and the publisher sent double of each prize kit that we were supposed to run that day. We rescheduled the tournament as soon as we could, and the turnout was awesome, and since the publisher sent us so much, almost everything was a participation prize. Man, you just gotta love these niche communities because more often than not, they're super nice and just super supportive of everyone that participates currently and those who are interested in starting. It's just really heartwarming, and that's like one of the reasons why video game stores are some of my favorite places to hang out and talk to people. This story's called, Entitled Mom Thinks I Should Shovel the Snow Off of Her Driveway. I've been lurking this subreddit for a long time, but never had anything to share. My time has come! First of all, backstory. Sorry it's a little long. Today it snowed quite a bit in my city. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so we don't usually get a lot of snow, but when we do, it's very wet, slushy, slippery, and heavy. This makes shoveling driveways a total nightmare. I live pretty high on a mountain, so we get the worst of it. I'm in my early 20s and still live with my parents, but they're out of town at the moment. Usually when it snows, my parents and I will get up early and shovel the driveway together, because it's at the very least 200 square feet and at a really sharp incline. Basically a death trap if it's not completely cleared and salted. But because I'm alone, it was just me today. I wasn't exactly thrilled when I got out there, because I realized just how heavy the snow was, and I'm a pretty small girl with zero upper body strength. I could only push about 3 feet at a time before it got too heavy for me. So I was out there for well over an hour working at it in small increments, slipping all over the place and sweating like crazy. Definitely needed to shower before work. I've also been having bad asthma attacks from the cold weather recently and am recovering from a gnarly leg injury, so I really shouldn't have been doing it. But I really needed to get to work and buses don't come anywhere near my house. Didn't have much of a choice. Okay, now for the actual story. I was finally at the bottom of my driveway, clearing the last bit away, and couldn't wait to get inside and hop in the shower. Enter Entitled Mother. She's the mom of the family who moved in next door back in the summer, but they've never really acknowledged me when I've tried to say hello or wave. Kind of rude and unusual in my neck of the woods, but they're from Hollywood. I think the husband's an affluent film guy, so maybe the culture's different. Anyway, she sees me finishing up and is suddenly very friendly. Hi, good morning. Wow, you're really good at that. Me, a little taken aback. Oh, hey, not really, but someone's gotta do it. You did such a good job. Can you do mine next? I thought she was joking, so I laughed and said, I would, but after that ordeal, I think I'm spent. But no, she just looked at me expectantly and started explaining why I should do it. Come on, my driveway's nowhere near as big as yours. It'll take you 15 minutes tops. Plus, you're already dressed for the weather. We don't have a shovel. I don't exactly have 15 minutes. I need to get ready for work and I'm already behind schedule. But you guys are more than welcome to borrow our shovels. We have 4. It's not my fault you're behind schedule. You should have woken up earlier. And you're not the only one who has somewhere to be this morning. My little boy does too. I woke up pretty early. It just took way longer than I expected. And again, if you guys have somewhere to be, feel free to borrow our shovels. You're being incredibly selfish. My son has to go to work too. And he'll need to get out of the driveway just like you. If you don't clear our driveway, he could get into an accident and be hurt. And it will be your fault. I didn't know your son was grown. Where is he? He's asleep. He was up late last night and needs his rest. He's very smart and his job is definitely more demanding than yours. Okay. Well, when he wakes up, tell him he can borrow our shovels. They're by the shed. No, you have to do it. He doesn't know how. I promise it's not that hard to figure out. If he's as smart as you say, he'll be just fine. Or you could do it. How dare you? I then walked back up my driveway out of her sight because I didn't have the time or energy for her crap. But I could hear her yelling expletives at me and threatening to call my dad about how bratty I am. My dad freaking hates her. Can't wait to tell him the story when he gets back. That's when you pull out your 12 gauge and be like, "You're too Hollywood for here, honey." Then proceed to shoot 3 geese out of the sky in one shot, one of which hits her in the head, and your insane hunting prowess activates her primal breeding mode, despite the fact that you're a small girl, apparently, and she tries to jump your bones. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.